Thank you so much, Jatin, for the kind invitation. Thank you all for coming to this discussion. And today I'm coming as you seen from the slides names, or I'm coming with some insights from the Chilean context, basically decarbonization and also role of the markets. Before going to my this presentation, the main part of my presentation, I just want briefly to make clarification about what's the key motivation of this talk. One, basically the motivation is, in these days, especially some part of the world where the renewables, development of renewable energy sources becomes quite relevant, and we see that there is urgent need from one side, the rapid and large scale transition, and from other side, and we observe that the markets, basically we observe some uncertainties in market signals, and basically this question is totally relevant because of the market integration, particularly related with the grid and flexibility. But this question quite, not from the perspective of the people are in this camp, understand that obviously integrating these resources into our grid is a challenging task, but from the perspective of community and social point of view, it's quite challenging, because basically people understands that, okay, that from one side we are having in solar and wind technologies getting the prices is getting very down, it's very in the minimum level, and from other side also the storage technologies, the prices are decreasing significantly. But from other side, and on other side, and then when we get the prices, when we get electricity, the electricity prices getting really high and then expensive. Yeah, that is the question better, and there are big discussion in the literature also, and about this, what is gonna be future of markets. Yeah, this is, and some experts say that okay, we have to, the markets are functioning well. Some others saying that okay, we need to make some adjustment. Others thinks that we have to completely replace the existing market structure and to come up with new system, right? So I just want to show a bit, the differences a bit in previous market structure approach and current market structure approach. There's a big difference. Basically, the role of the markets is the main role of the market is the definition of the prices, right? So when we say that okay, this is how when we consider that how a market can be efficient, and we think that at that point the market are able to capture all happenings in the right. So we say that okay, the prices can able to internalize all happenings in the industry. We can see that's then market is efficient. This is a quite the complicated assumption, but but when we think about the compare with the current market structure with the previous one, we see that there's a big difference. So and traditional market structure, the electricity market is considered the most sophisticated market in the world, because it has different elements that makes this market very special, and especially the operation side and also planning side, right? So here in this market, the security and also economics terms is important. Sometimes the question is that who comes the first, whether the security of first or the economic things should be first. This is the traditional side of market structure. But nowadays, with the decentralization, with the entrance of new renewable sources, and the market becomes more complex, and then the prices are, becomes very complex to capture all the happenings, what happening in the market. So with this, we have market design that it comes with us a very long period of time. There we have new models, new solar models, aggregators, solar community model, exactly several models are becoming apparent in the market. And also new technologies, also enabling technologies appearing, so like storage technologies or digital technologies. And also another key important aspect is the social acceptance case, right? So with the decentralization, and it becomes these concepts also the important. The question is that how we can integrate these all elements in the current market design, how we can make the market design that can capture all the elements. This is very quite a challenging task. That's why in this presentation I'm coming with a topic. My objective of this presentation obviously not to answer this question, which kind of market design is adequate, is rather to talk importance of this topic from the Chilean perspective, from the Chilean experience. So it's why Chilean case is important. It's interesting because basically Chile has become one of the first countries with the subsidy-free markets in renewable energy industry. So in this presentation, I will give the brief, happenings that we experience in Chile. Then at the end, we can discuss also that more discuss openly the questions after. So nowadays we are Chile experiencing the huge the energy, the renewable energy growth. We have, this is almost 8% of solar and wind energy sources, and matrix energy matrix, almost 20% of energy matrix comes from the solar energy, and so we having annual share of the renewables almost reach 70%. This is from that, and in totally, it is from in terms of the installed capacity, we have almost 62% comes from the renewables. There are several main drivers actually about this growth. One of the key drivers, obviously, the technological advancement in solar and wind technologies, and also the favorable business climate, high electricity prices in Chile, and also the Chile is a mining country. As a mining country, it has a very energy intensive economy. So we basically the prices, there is a huge need for the energy, and also the Chile has one of the favorable part in this has open economy, and when there also benefited from the European side crisis when there in the early 2000s, and Spain and Spanish or Italian government start cutting the feed-in tariffs, and many the companies, basically renewable companies, immigrated to Chile and under this condition. And also Chile has abundant solar and wind sources. I would say one of the best in the world because the Atacama Desert is the highest radiation in the world, and also availability of the land. So then also there are specific, there also has been specific policy action in this actions for especially these two specific policy action made a huge game-changing effect in the market. One is the restructuring of power auction design, because we have basically in Chile you can do, there is a three kind of market. One is a spot market, and then you have a PPA market. This is a PPA market, power purchase agreements. You can do either bilaterally, and also you can do it with the centralized tender method. So almost 50% of the agreement is bilateral PPAs, the free bilateral the PPAs, but the rest of the 50% almost is realized by the tendering approach. So before, in the previous structure of the market, when you want to sign a PPR, you have to ensure 24 hours of continuity of providing energy under this PPA contract. That condition actually they used to make very impossible for solar and wind technologies to participate in this PPA contract because they cannot provide 24 hours the energy. So what the government did, they made specific blocks for different technologies, or they made one specific block for solar and another specific the blocks for the wind technology. This is actually the pushed a lot of solar and the wind technologies to participate in this PPA contracts. Also, another key policy action, I think, was the approval of new transmission law, because they changed the rule of the game. Somehow, before the transmission, the toll was responsible by the generators, but with the new rule, the government changed. They say that, okay, the generator is not responsible for paying the transmission role, then it's going to be the consumer is going to be responsible. For that reason, the generators started expanding rest of the country where the solar and wind potentials are high. So by that way, and industry has become quite the industry started quite the increase significantly. So, but I just want in this my presentation, I just want particularly focus on what are the key implications of this. Yeah, one of the key implications here, and we can see that here. And because of the grid limitation, we absorb huge curtailments. That level of curtailments becomes so high. Today, almost 2004, almost the level of curtailment reached 17%. It means that 17% of solar and wind potential has been wasted in 2024. And this represents almost 7% of total energy production. It has several reasons. One of the reasons, obviously, structural barriers, because the transmission business remains very concentrated compared to the solar business, because of the several reasons. Today is a transmission, but the transmission business is concentrated with a few players, but in the solar business you can find 1,000 or the more than 100 or 1,000 players in the market. But there is a huge demand for transmission, the constructors. So there are also another the key barriers is the regulatory barriers we have because of the permitting, and there is a lot of the problems and bottlenecks in transmission evaluation of transmission projects, and this we observe huge permitting delay and uncertainties. Another the key bottleneck is related with the community challenges, because there is a huge long negotiation with the local communities. I mean, combined with all this, the factors makes this, in today, almost, we observe with a high level of curtailment. The second part of second key implication with the huge growth in solar and wind growth in Chilean energy matrix, we observe the zero prices. It means that the last year in 2024, almost 9 months of year, the marginal prices has been zero, where the most of solar capacities are concentrated. Yeah, this means that this is from the profitability perspective, and it's a huge challenge for the companies. The most of the companies is small, especially small generators, and some of them declared bankruptcy, and some of them they already sold their properties to their other players. So from the market perspective, actually, why it is zero? Because there is oversupply of solar energy in a particular point of the country, particular area of the country, and we have a lack of scarcity, like you lack of demand. So we observe and zero prices. But from the other perspective, from the energy transition, from the global energy transmission, we can observe that there is a huge the capacity is what is the solution from the other perspective, not from the market perspective, right? So and another key implication is the management of the huge solar and wind capacities. So most of the time, this is international literature is recognized as a duck curves, but sometimes we see that we almost pass the duck curves. It is the ostrich curve because the problem that for certain hours and you observe huge amount of the solar capacity. And so when Chile is also a very thin country, when the sunset and also sunrise happens exactly one specific hour. So it makes so difficult, for example, at 6 o'clock in the late, you have to find like 5,000 megawatt replacement for solar. This is very challenging for the system operator. It's challenging from the economic terms, right? Because you have to find additional sources to replace these, and it becomes so costly for system. So that's why today the system each day becomes more costly, because if you can see here in this we call it systemic cost or integration cost, or sometimes we can call it like management cost of the system, right? This cost is increased significantly. When we see about this 2008, and systemic cost was like 1.5. Today in 2023, the systemic cost reached $20. It means that if you have the PPA contract like $40, and this $40 you have to add $20 more comes from systemic cost. This makes actually system very inefficient in that sense, and there's from the perspective of the end consumers, it's very difficult to that. This is because this cost basically transferred over to the end consumers, and so this is actually the numbers we observe from the Chilean context, also somehow comparable in the international and the literature. And some colleagues from University of College London, they did and recently research. And basically, when you get like 35% of renewable energy production penetration in the grid, you can observe almost this systemic cost can reach $40. But if you increase this up to 85%, the systemic cost can reach even $30. And this is not phenomenon only happening in Chile. It's also happening in the rest of the world, where the share of renewable energy is increasing, right? So one of the current possible scenarios here is storage technologies that can handle this, and basically this can offer the flexibility in the system, because the cost of the storage technologies has decreased significantly from 2010 in one decade. But and also Chile, currently there are several thousand mega projects are constructing for this flexibility. But our current challenge is not not only building the storage technologies in the industry, but how you can integrate this new technology to the current system. This is the key challenge, because when we think about operation of the system operators, and we can think system operator as a data bank, as the information, the management. Main task of the system operator is the information management. So, right, they receive tons of data from their different the market agents, and there's in some market this information handling is realized in a centralized way, and some markets a decentralized way by the system operator. This format has as pros and cons, but in a centralized way of handling this information, such in Chile, Argentina, Peru, and other Latin countries, then generator needs to report and justify their operation costs and all technical details to system operator. And system operator, as a centralized way, they based on this all data, and they make the short-term operation schedule through optimization model. Sometimes this approach called the cost-based system. But the question is here, and if you integrate this cost to the system, what is going to be the marginal cost? What's the cost associated with the battery? Because when you have solar or wind energy sources, they can somehow declare their cost because they have zero cost. But in a case of, because they are zero variable cost, but in case of the batteries, what is the marginal cost associated with the charging and discharging the batteries? Because here this cost depends on the opportunity cost of the agent, right? This creates a huge problem currently in the system. How we can integrate this, and other things that not only integrating storage technologies. Tomorrow maybe you need to integrate the other technologies. I think this becomes the markets. This way of handling market becomes too challenging. So I want to come up some concluding remarks. This market-driven approach in Chile has been a key play important role in driving significant growth in the country's utility-scale renewable energy projects. However, beyond this point, the current market design becomes inadequate. And also, what we observed from the case of Chile, high penetration of variable renewable energy sources disrupts almost their liberalized electricity markets, and also undermines their economic foundations. So now, on the current scenario, we're observing that electricity systems are shifting from the centralized system controlled by limited generator to decentralized system with the potentially million of small generators. And in these scenarios, in this decentralized scenario, the future success of market will depend how well they manage with this information diverse cost comes from the different sources in a less cost manner. This is I think it's going to be this is challenging right now for markets that are based on renewable energy. They're based on the variable energy renewable energy systems, right? So that my question is again for an open bit discussion, and I would love to receive your comments or any proposal, any question, please. I will be happy to discuss.